Governor Gavin Newsom with a major announcement today, issuing a statewide mandate requiring COVID-19 vaccinations for all eligible students. It's our top story right here on The 4. I'm Heather Myers.
I'm Marcella Lee, and today for Carlo Cicchetto. California is now the first state in the country to do this.
It's Kelly Hessedal joins us right here in studio now to talk more about this and the timeline going forward. Kelly, plus reaction from some of our local school districts.
Yeah, we also talked to some parents as well. You know, the districts say they thought this was coming. The governor's office had been hinting about it for a while now. The bottom line, the earliest eligible students will need to be vaccinated to fall in line with the state guidelines is January. Here's some of what the governor said today.
We want to get this thing done. We want to end this pandemic. We are all exhausted by it. And the purpose of this is to continue to lead in that space. I believe we will be the first state in America to move forward with this mandate and requirement, but I do not believe by any stretch of the imagination we'll be the last state. In fact, I anticipate other states to follow suit.
And Governor Newsom went on to say that he recognizes there's anxiety about this, but he says in order to keep schools open for in-person learning, he believes this is the best path forward. Now, the timeline of all this will fall in line with full FDA approval. So right now, the FDA has only approved the vaccine for students 16 and older. Once final approval comes for anybody 12 and older, students in grades 7 through 12 will be required to get the COVID-19 vaccine. So again, the earliest is January. The latest is expected to be July. All K through 12 employees are also going to be required to be vaccinated as well. And the governor says medical, religious, and personal exemptions will apply. Now, we've been talking to local school districts about this. Poway Unified already sent something out to their parents today. And here's what their spokesperson had to say.
We know it's a divisive issue, but ultimately we hope that everyone's on the same page when it comes to ensuring that our schools remain open for in-person learning and our students and staff remain healthy while they're at school.
So Poway Unified says it will follow the state guidelines. Now, I also talked to San Diego Unified, who passed their own district vaccination mandate this week. And one thing to note is that board president Richard Barrera says even though the state mandate allows for personal and religious exemptions, San Diego Unified will not be allowing them.
Wow, Kelly, and I know there are a lot of parents out there who do have a lot of anxiety, especially for kids as young as 12 when this mandate takes effect. What are you hearing from parents?
You know, there's a lot of mixed reaction from parents about this. You know, some are applauding this move by the governor. Others are very upset about it. But I will say there is some anxiety, even for parents who are fully vaccinated themselves, who are a little bit worried about getting their kids vaccinated. The overall theme I keep hearing is that parents want more time, they want more data. Some just want long-term studies.
Right, our Kelly Hessedal reporting live. Certainly this story not going away anytime soon, and we'll continue to keep folks updated as more information rolls in on this.
Yeah, thanks, Kelly.
Well, the governor says that there will be exemptions for personal, religious, and medical beliefs, but that could easily change in the legislature.
Political reporter Morgan Reiner joins us now live. Morgan, explain why there are exemptions for the COVID vaccine, but not some of the others in the state.
Heather, Marcella, it's because the governor made the decision. If the legislature made the decision, it would be an entirely different story. California is only one of a few states that does not allow for religious or personal exemptions when it comes to state-mandated vaccines.
Are there exemptions? Yes, well-established exemptions for medical reasons, personal and/or religious beliefs.
Governor Newsom answered the question before anyone could ask, but that didn't stop the follow-ups.
If you wanted to remove the personal belief exemption, would that require an act of the state legislature, and would you want the state legislature to act? The
legislature's been leading in this space for many, many years, well before I got into this office. And so that is certainly something that one can anticipate, but I'll work with them to strengthen it to whichever direction we need to go.
Yes, it would require the legislation to act to remove any exemptions. No, he didn't say if he wants them to.
California actually had those exemptions in place for all vaccines, for personal belief and religious exemptions, until a few years ago. And the legislature did pass bills that basically took those away or significantly limited them in a way that almost no other state does.
Republican Assemblymember Kevin Kiley is the vice chair of the Education Committee.
I'm very concerned that the legislature, when it comes back, will try to remove those exemptions.
He's right. Senator Dr. Richard Pan is the one who wrote the legislation to require people who want personal exemptions to go to their medical professional first.
I authored a bill to at least be sure people had an opportunity to hear some of the facts from their own doctor.
And then a few years after that, wrote the law to get rid of the non-medical exemptions altogether.
We may want to consider legislative steps when the legislature goes back to session.
So what does the legislature need to do in order to get rid of those exemptions? Well, they need to officially add COVID to the list of 10 other vaccines that are already required. Now, that would be done through a bill. And with the Democratic supermajority, that won't be too difficult. And you just heard from the senator that they are considering it.